You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Well, Chad, welcome back to the show. It's been a long time, and none of us here are still seething with anger over our previous conversation.
More or less.
Yes.
I'm not, are you?
You're a new person.
Dice
I'm
placement?
not.
You're always
I
angry.
love dice placement. I have
I'm
become...
glad you finally admitted that.
Well, I've played enough, and they've
good.
gotten to where it's not admitting, because like
From my
admitting
point of
would
view,
be like I have
you would
something-
never admit anything. Like you've never admitted anything.
Chad, listen. You see, some people don't understand how life is. Well, I think you get it because things change, and you adapt. I feel like you're the type of person that adapts with it. You've traveled the world, haven't you?
Just a couple places. A lot of places, U.S. and outside that, just Japan.
Japan.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's a nice area. What area is it, Japan? I know you went over there and killed some monkeys.
I can't talk about that.
Can't talk about that.
Yeah,
you're
I got another contract coming up for December.
You're the John Wick of monkey killer. Yeah, all those poor monkeys over there. Those violent gangs of monkeys that Chad had to deal with.
So I've actually been to most places in Japan, north, south. When me and my son went, just the two of us, and for his graduation, and we started in Hokkaido, which is a northern prefecture. Mm-hmm. We got a 2-week train pass and went all the way to the southern island of Kyushu, and so got to see a lot of it. Now, the bad part about it is he met somebody during this trip, and that's why he's living there now.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
Yeah.
She took your son from you.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
Oh, wait. And I love taking my daughter Allie there as well, because she always says, "You're going to talk about your son, right? And you're not going to talk about me." So I just want to make sure that I mention my daughter Allie.
You have a daughter?
I have a daughter.
Never heard of her.
Who?
Oh my goodness! You're not helping the case. You're not helping the case, Jerry.
I'm just asking. I've never.
Yes.
Okay.
She's the first time I've heard of her.
Does she do anything?
22.
22.
Yes.
She do anything interesting?
She teaches at a Montessori school. Am I saying that right? Montessori.
Michigan?
Samurai.
Oh no, she's in Louisiana.
Yeah.
She's in Louisiana. Yeah, she's living in my game room right now because she does. Well, she knows that when she moves out, that's gonna be my game room.
Wow.
And the pressure's on. The pressure's on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Empty nester, get out, because I need the room. That's something.
Yeah.
They know. Enrique, you've never left. You're still out.
Well, I'm here. Like,
Not
Oh my god.
no, I'm joking. But no, I've not left my house at all.
Never.
Ever.
Like, this is
I will never.
like
What?
you live in a bubble.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like,
All right.
why are you always
You're giving
picking
me a
on-
lot to work with. See, like Chad had life experiences.
yeah, but Chad is like
discussions.
experience, and then you come at me knowing that I don't have this.
You're looking
and
very
then,
pale.
What do you mean pale?
No,
It's
is
the
anybody
sunlight.
else okay?
It's
Is anybody
sunlight.
else seeing this? Does he look pale to you?
He always looks pale.
I mean, like you do look like you. Have you gotten any sun here lately?
Well, not recently.
Get in my bag. Get you
I
some
think it's
vitamin
the
D.
He looks a little yellow.
Get some vitamin D. You're looking
He's
jaundiced.
got a little jaundice going on.
You look a little jaundiced.
That'd be a little more yellow than pale. Huh?
You're a little jaundiced there.
Like, I feel fine, but like,
Take you on down to the. Why did my Louisiana go in there?
I don't know.
Billy Bob. You got any of that hot banter there, Gubby?
The only thing I'm pulling up at the moment is about McDonald's Happy Meals were created by Bob Bernstein.
Okay, we're going to skip over that. So Chad is there.
I was never a big Happy Meal guy, even as a child.
Wait a minute.
I was never a big Happy Meal guy. I wasn't.
Well, so you went straight to the real meal. You were a double whopper.
I was the big DLT back in the day.
When I was going to school, we'd go to McDonald's and it had like 99-cent Big Macs. I mean, I've never had I don't know how long it's been. Maybe tell my age. 99-cent Big Macs. That was.
Oh wow, it's like.
But every once in a while, it's like, you know what? I haven't had a Big Mac in a while.
They're not good.
And I go and I get one. And number one, I don't know what it's like here in Texas, but in Louisiana, you go. There's no such thing as fast food anymore.
No,
it's convenient food. Maybe there's nothing fast about it.
Faster.
Yeah. But a Big Mac, it's like, I haven't had one of these in a couple of years. And you eat one, you realize why you haven't had one in a couple of years. Because they're just not.
There's really no.
I went to since we're here at DFW, a week later.
Dallas Fort Worth.
When we were at DFW, there's a place called Shake Shack that has now come around here. I don't know where it's from, probably California.
Not the Steak and Shake.
No, not Steak and Shake. That's a completely different place.
That's a different franchise.
Steak and Shake is more about the shakes.
Yeah.
They wear them bow ties.
Shake Shack actually has
Shake
decent
Shack
hamburgers.
They're like a burger and they ain't cheap.
Yeah.
I got a burger, a fry, and a soda, and it was $17.
Oh yeah.
So it was not cheap.
That's Chili's prices.
And when I got the burger, I got a double, thankfully. But it was the same size as like the circumference of it, the diameter, whatever we want to call it, was the same size as like a McDonald's quarter pounder.
Circumference. You
Like
talking about the girth?
The girth of it.
Now, you have listeners, right, that are not in U.S. So quarter pounder is, you might
a
be
quarter pound of meat.
It's a metric. Use the metric system.
And I don't know if that's before cooking or after cooking.
That's 3 kilograms.
But a quarter pound of meat is not what it used to be, apparently, because I got it up and it looked like a small breakfast muffin.
Maybe your hands are just big.
No.
Maybe your mouth.
It looks small.
It does?
It was real small. It was like this size. And
That's
you would think for $17 it'd be like this size.
No.
But it was.
What burgers are
you eating? It was literally this
What
size.
I'm not gonna lie, Gabby. Your hands are quite large, man.
Your hands,
No,
your
it's
phalanges.
normal. It's normally.
I think your hands have widened.
Wait. Hey.
Oh,
I'm a little sensitive.
Wait a minute. What?
I'm a
Oh,
little
no.
sensitive about hand
okay.
comments.
All right. So wait a minute. I didn't realize. Stop the presses.
Oh, no.
Jeffrey would
he
get
would
that.
appreciate that.
Enrique, put your hands up, please.
Oh, all right.
Put your hands up. Chad.
Oh my goodness.
Put your hand. Share.
Now listen.
Enrique has baby hands.
Now listen. Now Chad. I know. So that's,
Hey, no, wait.
How's those
Hold
fit?
Okay, Chad.
How does those fit around
Chad,
a game
put-
controller?
They don't.
Chad, put your hand up to his again. I gotta get a picture.
it looks. This looks like when you're.
Okay.
Chad's like, my hands are a little small, and then I'm like, no.
No.
Put your hands up to Enrique.
No, it's not they look small.
They look small, but they're
because
not.
I have sausage fingers.
You do. You do
Yes.
have
They're a
portly
little
fingers,
rotund.
but that's all right. You do,
Yes.
but they're you're round.
Yes.
You have round fingers, short fingers. Enrique has.
Small.
I don't know what those are.
They're just small.
Twig
Sweaty.
fingers. I would say.
I wonder what caused that.
Probably just I was probably malnourished at a young
Do
age.
you think the fact?
So you're
yes.
blaming your mother?
No, I'm blaming myself.
Yeah, he didn't eat any, but
Yeah, like I
just
can't blame my
cheese.
parents for that. They had to like take care of me.
But they had to feed you.
But he's got
Yeah, but,
no,
like-
but he wouldn't eat.
I wouldn't eat anything, Gabby.
He
Why
comes-
not?
It's just like certain textures of food, just like they would make me gag.
He'd puke. I mean, you know this about him. Why are you shaming him? He comes from
wasn't.
good genetics.
Well, when he said he was malnourished, I was thinking more prenatal.
Oh no, vitamins and minerals and all that. Zinc,
Yeah.
no, folic acid.
Yeah.
Should take at least 1 milligram when you're pregnant.
Folic
This is
acid?
not giving out medical advice. I'm just saying. It's just well known.
We're not a medical podcast.
I am a hero, but I'm not a medical. This is not medical. We don't give legal or medical advice here at Board Games Snobs.
We're not lawyers. We're not doctors.
Nope. But we do have legal expertise or experience, actually. We have legal experience, I guess you would
do.
say. How many parking tickets have you got?
I was in prison once.
No, you weren't. Prison.
I have a legal background.
Prison once. You got pulled over one time,
I
detained.
may have been a felon.
You thought you was in a gang ever since then. You got
That's
pulled
right.
over one time. The road pirates got me.
I only wear
As Bruno
clothes of a certain
explained
color.
that in Canada they're all born because of boats or something. What was that? The maritime law, and I guess that
He was
the
So
like,
basically, they're what I understood is their cars are boats on wheels.
yeah, the police are he said the police are road pirates.
Yes.
He said all of our laws are based on maritime law.
So basically, if you find a boat just floating out in the middle of nowhere, that's yours. So in Canada, if you find a car and it's been abandoned, can you just take it? Can you board someone else's? You could board someone else's boat.
Hey, this is $1 million idea.
I want to know
Let's cross the border.
which
We
one.
look for
Canada.
Yes.
Got to be more specific.
We look for abandoned cars. We bring them back to the U.S. and we sell them.
The used car market right now is really hot.
Yes.
But those Canadians, all that salt on the road because they do it with the ice.
Oh,
there's a lot of rust. I think. What are Canadian vehicles? Do they drive Fiats? What do they drive? I don't know. We should ask. If only we were just a few doors down from Mr. Bruno.
Do they have their own car production?
I don't know what they
Or
produce.
they buy it from America?
I'm not sure what they produce besides John Mulaney and other Canadians. I don't know what they got up
Like,
there.
what does Canada have that's unique to them?
Oil. They got a lot of oil. They got mountains. They
We got
have
mountains.
French.
We got oil. We
French
got oil in
people?
Louisiana.
Texas has oil.
You acting like everybody.
Colorado has mountains.
I think everybody's got oil. What? So you're not saying Enrique thought
just
Canada was in
saying.
Europe a minute ago. He said that.
No. I did not say that.
You did.
You said
And
that
you know I
Bruno
didn't
was
say that.
European.
I thought Bruno was from Europe.
He has a French Canadian accent, and he explains it. That the French,
That was my
the French
my
people talk through their
misinformation
lips,
by me,
and the
though.
French Canadians talk out of the back of
They
their
talk
mouth.
like this.
They talk out of the back of their throat.
They talk in the
Which
back
is
of the
interesting
throat.
when he brought that up.
I noticed.
I didn't. Yeah, it's
Very interesting.
It's a good point.
He said the French from France, they talk out of the front of their lips, whereas the French Canadians from Quebec, they talk out of the back of the throat.
They don't do H as well.
Yeah,
So
he's like they say, "I."
which is interesting.
Hello.
I love
So
accents.
is this going to be a hard merge? Bruno, Moonrakers? Is that what we're doing?
We're working on
Good.
it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I spoil it?
You've
Did I spoil it?
already gotten so mad. Being around Gabi has ruined you. See, that's what it happens. We used to be so subtle.
Subtlety was our strong suit at one point.
It was until, like, I don't know, you started going crazy. But the accents, I like accents a lot.
I love them.
I do too. I think the French probably do have the best accent.
My wife wants me to speak French so bad.
My wife.
My wife.
Why?
she thinks it is the most beautiful language.
It does have that kind of, it rolls off your tongue. They got that, like, it just flows.
Yeah, especially when they're speaking the French, speaking in French.
Yeah.
French people speaking in French, not speaking American,
Right.
which is what I was discovered last night when I was listening to those YouTube videos. I was like, because we had a discussion last night about Bruno's accent, because Bruno's from Quebec, and Jerry's like, that's how French people sound. I was like, that's not how French people sound to me.
No, but
Jerry was saying, I'm basing my French sounding opinions on TV shows where they talk like this. Zootalo. Let's have another.
yeah.
It's worse for me because when I think of a French accent, all I can think of is
Cajun.
Monty Python. When he's going, we already got one.
Yeah.
I think of the guy on Little Mermaid, the little crab. Zootalo. We have another.
I will taunt you a second time. I like that guy.
And then there's the Cajun, which is a completely different French.
But Cajuns, Jason Dinger said something about Cajuns once. I wish I could remember it.
So they're from Canada, Nova Scotia.
That's right. They were driven down to Louisiana, weren't they?
Yeah, it was basically
For some reason.
It's like they were kicked out.
What were they driven down in?
They were
Probably a
kicked out.
Canadian
They were
car.
complaining about there's no
Fords.
crawfish around here, and they complained so much
People-
they got kicked out.
They had the trail
and
of
sent
Canadians
down.
all the way down from I forget. The
I don't
history.
know if it was a trail or did it put them on a boat. I would imagine they
can't-
put them on a boat and sent them
It'd
down.
be quicker. It would be quicker.
I have to
The
find
Trello
out.
syrup.
Why is this trail so sticky? It's all the maple syrup. That's racist. Why y'all making fun of Canadians? The best board gaming people that are Canadian is now Bruno, who he's very nice, and what's his name? The guy who does the Watch It Play. He's Canadian.
Rodney?
Yeah, I blanked on him for a second. So Canada has produced the best board gaming people ever.
So the first time I came to BGG, he was here.
Mm-hmm. The real BGG.
Huh?
Not BGG Spring.
No, Spring.
Really?
I came BGG Spring. And so here's a little, like, how I found out about Board Game Snobs. I was going to my first time going to BGG Spring, and I was looking on BGG for games to play, and there was someone was saying, I want to play Brass Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's back up. That'd be my top 5 as well.
Thank you. I also predicted that would be number 1. It did.
And
Board Game Profit.
So I signed up for a game of Brass Birmingham, and the guy's name was Chris Evans. And he goes, "Hey, I got a space. I got me and my buddy Jerry. We're playing." And I said, "Yeah, sign me up." And I had my friend Tim. So me and Tim were going to play. And he goes, "So look, Jerry's got a podcast." So he told me. And I said, "Well, I'm going to start listening to it if I'm going to play with this guy." And that's what introduced me to Board Game Snobs.
So Captain America.
But Captain America had to cancel because he had to work. He couldn't get Friday off, and that game never happened. I actually still wound up playing Brass Birmingham, me and Tim, and we had somebody else. We got it from the library. We figured it out wrong, and even though we played it wrong, we loved it. But anyway, I'm sorry.
There you go.
But my second game of playing Brass Birmingham was with Captain America, Chris Evans.
Okay. But anyway,
we played here at BGG.
That same one, I saw Rodney Smith was here. So he has come to the spring
So
one.
the first time, my first BGG, I stood in line checking in the motel behind Rodney.
Oh.
And I wanted to say something to him just desperately, but I didn't. But I wanted to, so I kept getting closer and closer to him. But we're in line, so it wasn't awkward because we're waiting in line.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the appropriate space to wait in line?
Yeah.
And I remember getting really close. And at that time, I think it was either Enrique or you, one of you walked up behind me. And I turned around and I whispered. And you know my whisper is not a whisper. It's more of a loud,
vocalization.
So you're like whispering right now, right?
So, I turned to whoever it was and I said, "That's Rodney Smith and he smells really good." Because he did. And I don't know why I included that last part.
He smelled like pine and
He
maple syrup.
Smelled really good. And I don't know why I decided to say that. I'm sure he heard it. And then he never turned around, thankfully.
Well, usually that's not a very common thing at a board game convention.
That's what got me. Because a lot of people don't.
Unique smell here.
Yeah, I think it was me and Enrique because we came up by ourselves the first time and you were late. And we were getting there and going up to the orphan meetup they call that Enrique laughed about here today.
Yeah, I remember now. You made it so awkward.
I did.
I come up to you and you're just like, you turn around slowly. And it's like, that's Rodney right there.
And Enrique's like, who's Rodney?
So
and then later on the next BGG is when I intercepted Rodney coming out of the hallway and hugged him very awkwardly. And we had the most awkward conversation ever. I have, in my lifetime, hugged 2 board game media people. It has neither turned out well each time. So far, the only person I've hugged at a convention that has turned out well was Bruno. I hugged Bruno as soon as I walked up. Mm-hmm. That worked out fine. Mm-hmm. I hugged Rodney. That was very odd. He did tell me in a way what his favorite game was, which I appreciated. And then he dismissed me, which was very funny. I then hugged Paul from Shut Up and Sit Down, that same BGG.
You also hugged Kane.
And he stopped listening.
And I don't know what happened to him.
Because he doesn't like you.
He blocked us out.
What are you talking about? Why are you hating? No, you're bringing up stuff. You're obsessed with Kane. You're obsessed with people.
I want to retain all of our listeners.
No, that's what I like about our listeners, is that sometimes people will listen to the Dice Tower. They'll come and fall into us. We're kind of like the next step. And then people will leave reviews and say, these people aren't We don't like the fact that they don't talk completely about. They're not Board Game Barrage or something like that, which is great because we're not. I don't want to.
We have yet to talk about game, and we're 20 minutes in.
Well, it's because we're leading up to it.
Right.
Some people like that,
But people like it. Most people, when they first get into board games, want, let's get to the board.
Some
games.
people like listening to the Gamecasters. Some people have young children, like Nehemiah, who shouldn't be listening to the Gamecasters.
Nehemiah, shortest man in the Bible.
Yes, he's a very small boy who has his own Minecraft YouTube channel, and he should not be listening to the Gamecasters because they are not. They're PG-13, and you're not 13.
No, they're not PG-13. They're XXX.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Bad.
But the Gateway Network, is it the Gateway Network? What's the network that we're part
It's
of?
way dead.
It's going
Jerry.
great.
Jerry.
The Gateway
That
Network.
thing has been dead for
It's
like a
not
year.
The Gateway Network. If you're not familiar with it,
No, like after
hold on to your hats. The Gateway Network is just turning up the volume. They're putting out more content. There's that one guy that's in it that was on our show. Can't remember his name. The cosmetologist. I'm blanking.
Roberto?
I think it was. He's good. Tons of people. Roberto. There's tons of people on the show that are great, and we can't help Brian. Is Brian over it? Brian. I keyed his name wrong.
I don't know what you're
Brian
talking
and
about
Natalie.
right now.
Brian and Natalie and Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Jeff. It's not that I don't
He
like
likes
Jeff.
Lacrimosa.
Exactly. How does some... Never mind. I'm not going to rag on Jeff because he's part of the Gateway Network. People in the Gateway Network stick together.
It doesn't exist.
Ride or die, never die. We're the Gateway Network will always be. Good job, Brian. Needless to say, let's talk about something a little more...
Lacrimosa.
No.
Lacking. Let's talk about something lacking. Lacrimosa.
Why are you bringing that up?
I thought you were finishing plot about it. You talk about Jeff.
No. Stick to the plan. No, Chad,
Moonrakers.
Just please ignore him.
Our
Chad.
merch, Moonrakers.
Just Chad, just ignore him. He's not paying attention. So Moonrakers.
Yes.
Which is, I brought the Titan Edition, the newest Kickstarter. I brought that here by your request.
Yes.
A lot of our fans don't realize that if you request things of us, sometimes we don't do it. Other times, we come through.
Well, last year I requested Barrage. You came through.
I did. I'm two
This
for
year-
two for you.
Moonrakers this year.
I taught you Barrage. I did.
Yeah.
I'm not one.
I bought it.
And, yes.
I haven't played it yet.
I've influenced you once
Yeah.
again.
Even got an expansion still in the shrink
Quack,
wrap.
quack.
Quack, quack. So Moonrakers, which people probably don't remember from the big blow up there was a couple of years back when they first released it. This game was very, very hot. It's from a French company.
Oh,
Can't remember the name.
Oh, so
Bruno.
Tim
Bowers.
Tim Bowers came with me. He was wanting to know anything to do with Bond, 007, James Bond. He's big James Bond fan.
Is he?
Yeah,
I'd like to know.
but I didn't see any connection with James Bond at all. There was no Jaws in it, nothing like that.
Moonraker is really the probably the weirdest James Bond, I think, because of space.
Oh wait,
but it's a good one.
Okay, there.
It's good because it's so outlandish.
Yes,
It introduced Jaws.
Was Jaws in was he introduced in that one, or
I think he was before. I think
it
he was
before
in
that.
The Spy Who Loved Me or
He
something
was.
before that.
he was in several? You don't know. You're just talking.
Whichever one he just bit the wires into. And
I think that was every one, huh?
No, he bit the wires.
he was always using his teeth.
He was just an electrician.
I mean, his name was Jaws. It was like, you got one Jaws.
I liked how in all those James Bonds they had henchmen that just had one thing.
Yes.
And that started with Goldfinger, with the odd job guy with the little hat that he would throw.
Yes.
And it would, like he had a little
Cut you
bowler
in-
hat.
That thing
and
would cut you in half.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
threw it. I liked the fact that it was like each henchman had one thing.
Yes.
That was their thing, and you
Yes.
knew, you anticipated it. So my favorite one, people forget that because she was parodied in the Austin Powers thing. But the little woman in my favorite ultimate James Bond being From Russia with Love, was she had that little thing in her shoe,
like she could stab you with
stab
your
you.
shoe.
So when she clicked her shoes,
What was
like
her name?
it was like some Russian, like Omajal Konvanovich.
Probably like, I'm going to stab you.
I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab
I'm
you.
a Stabovich.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Good one. But she clicked the heels, and that thing would go. That was getting funnier as it goes along. And the little sword would come out, and she'd kick at you, kick it. And so you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the scene where James Bond's like, oh, everything's dead. He's won. He's in the hotel room and she comes in. She's like dressed up like the maid or something.
Yeah.
And she puts a little card in there. Oh, you want tea? And then like, and then the other woman sees her and is like, oh no, that's her. And she's like, don't tell him. Like, I'm about to stab him with this poison blade. And then she clicks her heels and she starts kicking at him. And here's what it comes so close to killing James Bond. He almost died from someone kicking him with a shoe knife. The man has survived everything. But the old lady with the shoe kicking at him, and he couldn't get away from her.
Was it Roger Moore?
No, it's Sean.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Sean was trying to, and he got a chair, and he's like literally trying to dodge holding this chair, and the only thing that saved him is the woman shot her. So the James Bond girl saved him. Like, that's never happened. So he's like, oh, no, like he could not survive this attack. Which, why did those shoe knives not become a thing? Why don't we have those?
I mean, maybe they are. We don't know.
You probably have a little trouble getting through the TSA
but here's
check.
I guarantee CIA is using them right now.
But Chad, now the reason I was bringing this up, Chad.
Yes.
This is an idea. I need you to take this back to your land of Louisiana.
Yes.
Here it is. Imagine you're in your home. Y'all have like, I don't know if the Louisianans have like some sort of weird, what do you call your homes? They're not, they're just houses. You're like out there on the bayou.
They're called trailers.
Oh, yeah. So you're in your trailer, you're flipping through the channels, and you step outside on your porch to go get your mail. And you're like, what's that here? And you go outside. So you always, what you do before you go outside, you slip on your Crocs.
Okay.
And you're outside. And what you see a nutrient in the distance.
Yeah.
And you see one of them gators.
Nutria.
Was it nutrient or nutria?
Nutria.
The rats?
Nutria? Yeah,
the
rats.
giant rats?
Yeah, the giant rats. They're not really.
And next thing you know, there's a gator.
We have to eat them now because they're all over the place.
What do they taste like?
Never had it. Never had it.
Okay. Well, maybe next year.
I bet they're nutritious.
And so, Nutrisystem. It's just a bunch of Nutri-Rats. Come try the Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem.
Come on down to Louisiana. We got a weight loss system for your head.
They have to be nutritious, right? Because they're called
Nutria.
Yeah.
Eat the back legs of a nutrient for dinner. And then you got your Crocs on, right?
Yeah.
But this Croc has a knife in it to protect you. Because as you go out to your...
You don't understand. In Louisiana, they literally just step on Crocs.
No.
And they're using actual crocodiles as shoes.
No.
We have alligators.
They have alligators.
Oh,
See, that's why you're stupid. He doesn't understand history.
You almost said stupid.
I didn't say stupid.
You said that's why you're stupid. It came out
Chad,
of your mouth.
don't say that. Don't say that. So as he goes out, there's
Crocs are saltwater, right?
There's an alligator out there. Yeah. And so now you have your Croc that you can click. Out comes the knife. And you can protect yourself from
the
said
alligators.
A Croc versus alligator. And then you could stab him and say, see you later, alligator. And you just and you're done.
Here's the thing.
And that's
After a while, crocodile.
That's the name of the brand. It's After a While, Crocodile. And that will be the modified Croc version shoe. And we're looking for investors.
I remember when I was a
Shark Tank.
Croc Tank.
And for that reason, I'm out.
That's no. That would be a better version of Shark Tank. Is the Croc Tank, which a bunch of Louisiana rich. I do declare this idea is brilliant.
Okay, I don't know how many people watch Roku Live.
Nobody does.
Because you know how
What
they
is
have
that?
like House Hunters and House Hunters International, and it's usually these fancy couples, and they buy like these.
You're saying words I don't know.
Okay, well,
Because
on the
I have testosterone and I don't watch other people buy houses.
on the HGTV network.
Chad, when's the last time you've watched the HTV? Right before Lifetime? Oh my! Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I usually watch that right before Dancing with Stars.
Don't let me yuck. Don't let us yuck your yum. Go ahead, please.
On the HGTV network, before they'll have House Hunters, and they're usually like renting or buying a house in like the south of France or something, or like in California on the beach.
Yeah.
On a Roku Live.
If my wife listens to this, she's very happy right now. You're talking about this. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. I bet you watch that while you're shaving your legs.
So there's another show now that's called something like it has to do with people it's the same show, Buying Alaska. It's called Buying Alaska. Imagine the same show, but if you knew how redneck Alaskans were,
Wow.
Basically, it'd be like people buying houses in Antlers, Oklahoma, saying, "Oh, let me go over here. Oh, can I have access to the 4-wheeler trails? Oh, yeah, I'm going to pay $100,000 for this house." It is literally take house hunters, put it in Alaska, and you have normal country folk buying houses out in the middle of nowhere, but they're still paying a bunch for houses that you have to supply your own water. Have no access to roads. You have to have a 4-wheeler. You want access to trails, but we can go out here and we got some good fishing.
But what, you've described is what I'm into and have done.
Pretty much.
I want to burst your bubble. You know that's fake. A lot of times, they already know what house they're buying.
You mean on Roku Live is fake?
No, house hunters. I'm telling you,
True TV.
They pick.
They do.
They know the houses they buy.
Yes, that is fake because they've already bought the house and then they make them. That's why, honey. Well, this is within our budget. Yeah, that's all fake. Yeah, but
I don't believe that TV's fake.
Why are you doing watching that? That's
because it's quite amusing.
It's not amusing.
They'll go into this cabin. They'll go into this cabin and like it looks like a house that I've seen in McCurtain County. That's like a trailer with 3 dogs and a goat out there. And they're like, this looks pretty good.
What's a county?
McCurtain County.
What's a county?
Y'all have
parishes.
Parishes.
I don't even know what that means. What's a parish?
It's like a subdivision of a state, and then you have like a parish.
We have counties.
Seat.
Literally every other state in the United States of America has a county.
But you have counties because you used to have counts, which were because of the English.
So why do they have parishes?
Because they're from Canada and they're probably French, so they probably have something else.
Probably so.
So and it sounds like
Actually, I
Paris.
don't know why.
They each have their little parish. I don't know.
Very Catholic. I don't know.
Or Sean Connery saying Paris.
Parish.
Welcome to the parish.
Why are you trying to stab me with your shoe? I'll perish. I'll perish if you kick me with that shoe one more time.
I'm going to live over here where I perish.
How dare you? Waranovich. What's with these heels? Why are your heels so sharp?
Stabovich.
It doesn't. That's terrible. You can't even do the accent anymore. Please, I'm talking to Chad. Chad's our guest. Please let him.
I'm also talking to Chad because I'm also here.
You're not talking. You talked about HGTV or something there that nobody cared about.
And what have you said to Chad?
Everything. Please listen to this. So, Chad, what if you?
So, Chad,
Moonrakers.
Moonrakers.
So let me get back to Moonrakers here.
Yes.
Because now I brought Moonrakers because I knew you'd love it.
Yes.
I knew you would
loved it. Yes.
And you did love it.
I was terrible at it, and I loved it.
You were terrible.
Yep.
You lost. Well, no, Enrique lost completely.
Enrique was very, very.
Enrique's still here.
It's been a while, so like I want my rematch.
He struggled his
obviously.
way to one point.
I always lose my games first hand, anyways. It's very
First hand? You don't do it in third person?
No, first hand.
Oh, the first time.
Yeah, first time.
If only he had a proxy, he would be unstoppable.
Pay somebody to play for me. I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. Next time I go to a board game convention, like I'm sign up for this tournament. This is my surrogate.
Yeah, there we go.
This person sit down. He's gonna play for me.
An unstoppable force.
I'm
No,
unstoppable.
I always lose on the first time I play
I've
something.
got 3 world champion
Especially-
poker bracelets. I keep hiring surrogates to go in and play. Okay, now you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm not making fun of you. Chad is, but I'm not. So Moonrakers, we raved about many moons ago when it first came out.
Episode
I
150.
get what you did there. Moonrakers. Mini moons.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Okay.
It just happened.
We discussed it on
happened so
episode
natural.
150, our quintessential episode, in which Jerry called it the quintessential bidding game.
So this is episode 250 something. So we're almost 100 episodes ago.
Wow.
Almost 2 years ago.
Would you call it the quintessential bidding game?
Boarding game?
This is what Jerry called
I
it.
didn't say bidding.
Bidding.
It's not bidding.
Negotiation.
That's what you said.
No, I didn't.
A negotiation.
There's no
My
bidding.
bad.
See, Chad, listen.
Oh, that's a
Negotiation.
lot of negotiation.
Chad, you're the new host.
But would it be quintessential?
Is it quintessential, Chad?
Oh, quintessential.
No, would you call it the quintessential bidding game? Sorry,
Negotiation.
my God, I keep saying bidding. Negotiation.
Perhaps I could come up with you just let somebody else speak for a while.
What do you say? It's the quintessential
Wait.
negotiation game.
Is that why I did so bad? Because I wasn't bidding? Is that what
Yeah.
happened? Is that where I went
why
wrong?
you
That
can't
was your
stay down
mistake.
bidding
That
game.
was your mistake.
But is it the quintessential negotiation game? And I think
I wouldn't say quintessential.
Neither would I.
I would say a very good example of a well done negotiation game.
Excellent. So, in Moonrakers, what you're doing is that you're acting as sort of like your own little mercenary, run your little ship. You're able to buy cars and crew and put on your ship. And basically, each round, you're picking up a contract. And the contract has the requirements that you have to fill, whether it be like weapons or power from reactors or thrust and various other items. And they give certain rewards. And you're trying to negotiate with the other players to go with you on this contract.
And so here's the thing that doesn't make it quintessential negotiation game. Because if you set yourself up, you do not have to negotiate
at all.
If
you're good.
Yes.
Which we found out Bruno was very good.
Right. So Bruno was the first one. We always wanted Bruno
because
and we don't talk about
Bruno. But yes, he did have a very powerful setup in his ship that made it very. He was very. Everybody wanted Bruno to be their buddy.
Exactly. When you had to do something, when you had a contract to fill, it's like, all right, it's gonna be me, Bruno, and who else?
Right. And but here's why I like negotiations games, especially like Moonrakers. Did Bruno win?
No.
Remind me now. I don't remember. No. I don't recall.
He did not.
I do believe a certain person.
He jumped out to a quick lead.
Yeah,
I do remember. A long time. I do remember most of the game. Everybody saying, "Please don't let Jerry watch Jerry. Don't with Jerry. Don't stay away from Jerry."
But no one listens to me. That's the issue.
No.
But you kind of set yourself up similar to Bruno, where we needed you.
I was in the
you had that
get rid of the hazards.
That was only at the very last few rounds, though. No, I did not. It's at the last few rounds. That was indispensable. So it's kind of like
indispensable.
When you needed me, I was there. But
so what you did brilliantly is
say that again.
Oh my god! If you
mark that, go ahead and mark that.
You have created more pleasure for Jerry in that one statement because he loves.
Go ahead and cut that out.
I'm just working on another invite. That's all I'm doing.
We're gonna play John coming again.
Is you had us feeling like, all right, all we can do is not let them get a lot of points, but it was too late.
It's too late
because you had your little
objective
cards, and you just had to get yourself in place and wait to the last minute to play those. And there's nothing we can do.
There was stuff y'all could have done, but this game does set it up to where what's brilliant about it is as everybody starts off with the same generic ship. Yeah. As you build your ship out and you get more characters and crew on your ship, you become kind of specialized. Like Chad was all about weapons.
I was a glass canyon, though. I could blow things out of the water, but they were going to hit me right back.
And then you had paper thin shields.
Yeah. I became all about getting like the reactors and thrust and all this other stuff that people needed because that was what was lacking. And so late game, I came in because people needed me desperately for these things that they couldn't fill. So I saw what you needed. I went after it, and then everybody would do the same thing. Whatever you do, Jerry, don't get Jerry. Use Jerry because he's going to win. Blah blah blah. Then they ended up needing me, and they're like, "Okay, what do you need?" Well, I just need.
That's what I like about this game is that in the very beginning, especially when you're teaching new and also even refreshing people that haven't played in a while. You kind of go up and down on the victory point track because you're going to gain a few victory points, but then you're going to lose some because of the way the game plays. Yeah, you might suffer some damage that will cause you to lose points. So once you calibrate to that, you're like, okay, now I know how not to lose points. I'm refreshed on that. You need people to help you to go on bought stuff. So then you negotiate. You can negotiate points. You can anything on the card that comes as a prize, points, money, or cards, you can negotiate. You get this, I'll give you this, I'll take this, and we can all three go in on this venture together and successfully complete this card. And in that card, there comes these damage tokens that can cause you to lose victory points. I find that interesting. It's like you can lose victory points, but you don't lose any money. So money is very important because that enables you to build up your ship, buy these characters that make you more valuable as a player that people want you to bring along on these
Which is interesting
missions.
Because you'll notice Berno did the same thing I kind of did at the start. We'll go with you. We don't want any victory points. We don't share in the victory. Just give us money. And then we bought money, we bought cards, we bought things.
But then you accumulate enough.
And now we are
clout.
essential
that I want a victory point if you're going to bring me with you.
And then it gets to the point to where I don't really even need you. I don't need so many people to go with me when it's my turn.
Yeah, because when you were explaining the game, I'm thinking, okay, so this is what I need to do. Someone gets a big lead, I'm just not going to include them on these things. But then you kind of have to.
You have to.
That's what I was going to say.
You have to. They made themselves that, oh, wait, if I'm going to get anything, I got to bring them with me.
And so at the late game, it became this thing where it was like Bruno or Jerry. You got to pick one. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I don't want you taking Bruno. I don't want you taking me. Well, so now we're doing this metagame of cutting deals. I'm like, I just want one victory point. No, you keep the money. And I just want the card.
Yep.
And so we're doing this thing where we're trying to fulfill objectives. So we're trying to get objectives. So like the first part of the game is nickel and diming your way up to 10 prestige points. So you're getting some victory. But as soon as you get close to it, now you have to fulfill objectives to kind of push yourself over the edge. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to get people to give you what you need without letting them know what you need.
Yep.
So me and Bruno were doing this meta game of like it's either Jerry or Bruno that's going on a mission.
A big part of this game that I actually enjoy is the dice rolling, the hazards.
Yes.
And that is a huge part of these contracts, and that is the luck part of this game that adds a little something that not a lot of negotiation games
push your
have.
luck.
Yes.
And I don't like push your
so you're rolling these hazard die. Depending on the contract you choose, it will tell you if it's 0, 1, 2, or 3, or 4 hazard die. When you roll those die, they can decimate your victory points if you don't have shields to protect for them, or cards that get rid of them, or all these other things. This game forces you to work together.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I love
even though you're vying for yourself.
And so what this game, what Gabi's talking about is each card, of course, the more rewards there are, generally the more hazards. And there's just these little markers on it that show how many hazard dice from 0 to 4 that you're going to roll. On these dice, they might have blank 1 or 2 hazards on them. And if you can't shield yourself from those hazards by playing shield cards, they knock you down the victory point track. They knock you down from prestige. It is one of the most devastating, bad things that can happen to you in a game.
Yes.
And Enrique suffered one of the worst defeats I've ever seen of somebody who volunteered to go on some mission with somebody.
Well, that was partly my fault because I'm thinking... We're in the back end.
Yeah.
We need to work together and do this on our own so we can do catch-up. And it backfired.
And really what happened, Enrique won the game for me in a lot of ways because Enrique said, I'll go with you. Us 4 will go do this mission. Nobody had enough shields. Well, that's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll see if we can't knock these hazards out of the way. Somebody rolled bad, had 4 hazards for which Enrique, everybody else can shield. You can't shield somebody else for your ship. Anybody else, you can only protect yourself. Everybody else was, in general, tried to protect themselves. Enrique suffered a loss of 4 victory points. It's just 0 to 10. So it knocked him down to the bottom. And that right there got in everybody's head, okay, we can't do this on loan. We've got to either take Jerry or Bruno
because
with
at
us.
First, we were just doing, basically, we were taking one person with us at a time.
Yes, you had a buddy. And then it turned into 3.
Me and you.
And then eventually it was like, no.
Like, no
and I remember the first time we went 4. It was when Chad had something. I was like, no. All 4 do it. There's 5. It's a 1 to 5 player game. Let's just do this. For all 4 of us, let's go get it.
You get burned, and it's like I don't want to get burned again. I'm bringing more people.
And so it's
than I
like
need.
everybody, and then you'll go on the mission, and you'll have somebody that you don't need, and you end up. Why did I pay this guy?
Yeah,
and that happened several times where
they don't even play any cards because it's all done.
So I'm the rider, and I'm like, this guy shouldn't have come with me. Why did I give you $2?
You just never know to draw the cards,
and you're like, I don't know.
Yep.
So it's not only is it a negotiation game. It is very much a push your luck game.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
I used to not like push your luck and really what changed my mind on that was playing that stupid Can't Stop.
Yeah.
And I played Can't Stop on BGA because Gabi played Can't Stop so much.
Yeah, you got me hooked on that one.
And I started playing it and realized, this is why this is great. Yeah. This is how you win. You just roll the dice 3 or 4 times and then you stop.
It's a dopamine hit.
If you have, but what happens is, you need to roll it one more time.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, if I don't. But the strategy is very simple.
Yes.
Just roll the dice 3 times and stop.
Yes.
Maybe 4, stop. And statistically, you will win.
Yes.
It's not that hard. You're going to roll 7.
But here's the thing. You get somebody in a desperate situation, they will come back and
burn
burn you.
But 9 out of 10 times, if you follow the plan, you do the algorithm, the stats are always on your side. Yeah. It's the same laws that casinos get you.
Yeah.
But the odds, when you get burned one time, when you're playing and you're so far ahead and some loser runs all the way up a track, just throwing sevens, and you're like, how did this happen? From then on, that sticks with you, and you get emotional. Yes. And so the more you play Can't Stop, it literally gets you to where you cannot stop now.
Yep.
Moonrakers is the same way.
Yep.
There's this thing of, I've always dodged hazards, I've rolled blanks, I don't need to worry about shields, I don't need you people. You get burned, you go down the prestige. And next thing you know, you're going on a mission
hurts.
And you're taking Enrique with you. And you're like, look, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. You start lining people out and you take too many people and you're like, well, why did I do this? Mm-hmm. So it's such a, number one, the artwork on it's amazing. The presentation
I hate
of it's
those
amazing.
hologram cards.
Those are in the Kickstarter. Everybody, I'm sorry, Bruno, we won't talk about it. But yes, everybody, in the Kickstarter, the Titan box, which I backed, they had the replacement hologram cards. It's a thing. I replaced the old cards, and I have the thing with the vision.
I can't read them.
I can't read.
I'm like moving the card back and forth, trying to get the angle so I can see
just to anybody who might be listening, it's a publisher, don't do holograms. Because old people, middle-aged men with poor eyesight, that's us.
Did we ever do one? I don't think we did. Did we ever do one? We didn't. Where we all went in?
No, we only did 4.
We did 4.
We did several where we left Enrique out, and 4 went, and then several we left Bruno out, and then
Chad went to the bathroom.
I got left out once. I don't know if y'all did all 4, but yeah. So there was a round pretty much where we did 4, but where all 5 went in, which is really. I like this game at 5 because really there's never a reason unless it's early on to go, all right, everybody jump in.
Yeah.
Moonrakers is still, it's one of those games, I can't remember where it ranked in my top 10 last time we did top 10, but it was pretty high. And it still stays there. I mean, it is truly one of those games that the amalgamation of negotiation, push your luck, and now with this Titan box with all the expansions that you really don't need, but do add a little bit if you want to. I've read through them. There's 3 little expansions that just change things up just enough. And now that everybody's played it, we could play this again. I can easily fold it out.
I would love to.
And say, hey, here we go. Let's do this. And it makes super simple, super sense. I can't get over Moonrakers. And what makes me mad is that it was so hot for a little bit. Nobody's heard about it. It's gone. Nobody talks about it. Nobody says anything about it. It's not on anybody's list. And that's why you people listen to this podcast, because somebody needs to beat the drum.
This hobby is all about the new hotness.
It's not. And the new hotness here has not been that hot.
Oh, my God.
The hot has
we
not
played
been hot.
Dorfromantik or whatever that was called.
Yeah, and that was not. It's
we
tile
sat
placing.
down, and that was like a child's game. You're just connecting these dots together.
It is. But the one, that Planet Unknown, have you played that?
No, I want to play it.
Okay.
That's my goal, to play it.
Bruno,
it's fine.
It's a tile lane Tetris
It's a
game.
solid game.
I will say that. Have you played? Does your wife play board games?
Not really.
Okay,
just a couple. But
all right. Well, here's a game. Have you played My City?
Oh, I love My City. But I played this with my my sister and her husband.
Okay.
We loved it. We played it like in 2 weeks.
That was one of the few games me and my wife played together. Yeah. I found it at a Barnes & Noble when it first came. I was like, hey, this is right. We love that game.
Yeah, that would be a game. If I could convince my wife to play it, she would love it.
Absolutely love it.
It's the convincing her to play it.
It's just enough, and a little sticker to change each game.
I do have my island. I pre-ordered that.
I heard that's good. I heard that's going to be good.
Planet Unknown is like patchwork
in space
merged with Twilight Inscription, and you're just running up these technology trees.
You keep saying Twilight Inscription, but what you mean is just the tech trees.
Just the tech tree.
Yeah,
I haven't played that one.
It's not worth playing.
You haven't missed anything.
Not missed anything.
But Planet Unknown is quite pleasant, but I would not. It's not for. I wouldn't go out and purchase it.
Here's the thing: every Spiel des Jahres, like, when's the last Spiel des Jahres that we were like, this is an amazing game?
The last one I remember going out and purchasing, and then later we kind of cooled on, was the tree one with the shade. Photosynthesis.
Yeah, Bubba ruined that game for me.
We came here, we played it, absolutely loved it.
Oh, Bubba, you not even here this
Purchased
year.
it,
Bubba ruined it for me because we were at the time I was talking about designing a game.
Yeah.
And we played Photosynthesis, and he kept saying, "This is just Sudoku." And he kept saying, "This is just Sudoku." And I was like, "What do you mean it's just Sudoku?" He says, "All board games are just a variation of this algorithm or this pattern or this thing but basically it's this." He says, the sun goes here and here. It's Sudoku. It's figuring out where you want to put your tree. And if you know how to do Sudoku, you can play Photosynthesis. I said, "You're crazy." And then he played Photosynthesis and killed it. And I'm like, "Oh, I get it now." And then after that, we played it. We loved it. The first couple times we played it, we loved it. Second time, after we kept playing it, it just completely fell off. And it was one of the few games that I can think of that had zero staying power. Like first time you play it, you loved it.
Yes.
Second time, it's good. Third time,
I don't like those kind of games.
You're done. And I don't know why. But it's like it doesn't hook you long enough.
Yeah.
Have you played? I know you're a Twilight fan, but have you played Eclipse?
Yes.
Okay.
I played it last year at the con.
I just ordered the second edition. Should be at my house right now. Because I am a huge Eclipse fan.
Yes.
Because of not only the asymmetrical stuff that you can, but each game kind of lends itself to this Euro style Twilight Imperium much quicker.
Yep.
I just popped in my head because I figured you were a Twilight fan.
Eclipse is fantastic because that player board is just so clear cut, and that's your player aid, and you know what you're going to do once you figure it out.
So I still like TI4 better than Eclipse, but I have to admit Eclipse it condenses some of that, but it's not the experience. It's a better game, but it's not a better experience.
When you play TI4, how many people do you play with normally?
6.
You play the full amount.
Max them out.
I played TI3 with 3 people.
It's boring.
TI4.
We attempted a 3-player game, and it was
I've
poorly.
only played with 6. Because to me,
it's a full game.
To me, that's like Moonrakers because of all the negotiation. You need the max amount of people to wheel and deal with.
Our first game in TI4, we maxed out, loved it. Then at Cabin Con, me and Enrique, we tried 3 of it,
and I was very bored.
And it changed the experience, and that's what you brought up about Eclipse. Eclipse is a better game than TI4, but in terms of experiences, there is nothing like TI4.
Yep.
That is an experience of. I'll never forget sitting next to Gabi and watching Enrique be incited by Bubba to wipe Gabi out. And I'm flipping through the rulebook going, can somebody be eliminated from this game? You can't eliminate somebody from this game.
Oh, you can?
You can.
Yeah.
And I'm telling Enrique, please stop. Like, I'm trying to help Gabi. And he literally 4 hours in committed genocide.
Uh-huh.
And with people begging him to stop. And he wouldn't stop. And he murdered him.
Genocide on a
And then Gabi went and sat on the couch for 3 hours and played Rocket League. And then the rest of the game, everybody goes, okay, just whatever we got to do, just don't let Jerry win. But I was the Turtles. And as you well know, Louisianans eat turtles, don't you?
Yes.
I've never ate a turtle. I don't know if I could stand stew. Is it good?
It's in a soup, so you're not really tasting the turtle. It's like eating alligator sausage. Oh, yeah, this is good.
Alligator sausage. Is it a thing?
Oh, yes.
How do they make alligator sausage? They grind them up.
You just grind it up.
It's all sausage.
You can make any sausage.
For some reason, I just dawned on me. Sausage is just ground up something.
Yeah.
It's all. So you can make whatever sausage. Yeah. That's weird. Nutrient sausage. Oh. Anyways, so never mind. But I was a turtle people.
Yeah.
And we won through diplomacy. So at the very last round, when they were coming for me and I went crazy, I diplomacied myself to victory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. But I felt bad the entire time because it's told this story that, number one, Enrique was crazy and could be incited to violence.
Wild card.
And how bad I fought to keep Gabi in the game. I was trying to negotiate for him. He was the Lions, weren't you? You were the Lycans.
I think so, yeah.
The Lycans. And you died. And then Bubba and DJ were awful to you. And then I had
no one backed me up.
I tried my best to back you up. The turtle people had your back, but our backs are protected because we're turtles. And we do diplomacy.
It was a shell of a time.
It was. I see, this is what happens, Chad. I do my best to try to set him up, and I just keep throwing stuff till something sticks. Yeah. Sometimes he knocks it out of the park.
Yes.
Sometimes he just punts. What's that? Not punt. What's bunt?
Bunt.
That's a cake.
That was a bunt right there.
That was a bunt.
Sometimes you gotta do
He's
what you
getting
gotta do.
tired because we got the poker. You're not going to the poker game. You got
No.
me and Enrique doing the poker game. You're going to go meet Bruno and do your thing. So Moonrakers is still the greatest thing ever.
It's good. It's very, very, very good. Quintessential. Still, that's a debate.
I don't remember. Here's the thing. I don't remember what I said 100 episodes ago. I don't even remember what I said last episode, which we recorded 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But
What? No, last week.
You know, a second play of Moonrakers may put it in my top 10. Right now, it's not in my top 10.
It does so many things good, but that don't necessarily have to do with negotiation. So that's why I have a difficulty, because you're purchasing, you can purchase upgrades for your ship that enable you to be better at making you more essential to the negotiation.
essential?
Yes.
And here's the other
I
thing.
thought you said quintessential.
You have all these expansions with it, and I'm like, why do you need expansions? Because to me, the game is so good as it is.
I know. They really pushed it.
And that's almost every game to me.
But top 10.
There's a few games that expansion makes it better, but yeah, I'm usually disappointed by expansions.
I'm anti-expansion.
What do you think? Oh, well, we'll discuss that another.
Let's discuss it.
I don't know.
But would I say it's my top 10?
Your
several
top
weeks
10.
from now.
You need to do it, Bubba top 5.
I would
or
have
top 10.
to.
So you said John Company, Twilight something.
What's your favorite movie?
Okay, John Company,
Twilight 4th.
Twilight.
That's a...
Brass Birmingham,
Thank you.
Yokohama.
Yes. Saying all the right answers. Trying to say favorite movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Schindler's List. No, not Schindler's List. I'm sorry.
It was.
Super depressed.
I know.
Super depressed.
Shawshank.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank
Redemption.
Shawdank.
Shaw.
Lots of dank memes off that one.
Shawdank Redemption.
Shawshank.
Now Shaw was a bunch of dank memes off of that redemption.
Yeah, why wasn't it Cool Hand Luke? I mean, that was basically your
Because
people.
I never saw Cool Hand Luke. Don't look at me that way.
Oh, that's Jerry's favorite movie.
Never seen it.
That's where he won the Oscar for basically
Yeah.
impersonating all of Louisiana. I can't believe I eat these eggs.
Never saw. What's the terrible Dennis Quaid movie, Big Easy or something? I never saw that one either.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that one. I haven't either.
It's an old age
I
movie.
didn't watch
Yeah.
that one either. I'm trying to think of another.
The Shawshank
No.
Redemption, eh?
I have to say it. Number
It's a
one
good
movie.
movie. It's a good movie.
It's on TNT right now. You guys guarantee
24/7.
I will take a bet. You turn on. It's
That's
on.
on Roku Live right after buying in Alaska.
No, Shawshank. You better get. That's how every episode ends. You better get busy buying, get busy living, get busy living, get busy dying.
You got that backwards.
I
in the
didn't
first
say it.
one.
I don't want
You messed it
Well,
up.
I'm trying to figure it out how they would say it on the realty.
living or get
Take
busy
out this
buying.
loan. Best get busy borrowing.
What's the other top 5? It's been a while since
The Bubba
a
Top.
game.
Oh, yeah, that's
a
gonna
game
be-
made into a movie.
So is it a cheat to say Moonraker?
Well, that would
Yes.
actually be a pretty good movie if you think about it. Kind of like
Yeah.
a Firefly type thing.
Yeah.
Mercenaries
Yeah.
negotiating. Yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah.
Holographs everywhere. Woo.
And what's the other two? I know I got to describe a board game.
Buy a box. Yeah, we haven't done the Bubba top 5 in so long because Bubba has been busy graduating from college and
Yeah.
making himself be a structural engineer or something impressive. He's done something with his life instead of hanging out with us.
Oh,
So, yeah, he's-
so sad.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like why he's transitioned. He's done something with his
Yeah.
life.
He's moved beyond us.
He's moved beyond us. It's kind of odd.
He's transcended beyond us. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Board Game Snobs.
You cutting us off? Chad's not ready to go. Well, no, Chad. Chad's got places they got to be.
Yeah, I can't believe it's 2 weeks long now. This convention. So nice.
Well, look, we don't want to be too meta, but people have to know that when the iron is hot, you strike.
Yeah.
And we've got too much content. We've developed so much. We're going to get like 5 episodes out of this BGG. This is where
We
we
still
go.
have to discuss Hamburg, Mosaic, New York City,
Lacrimosa.
Lacrimosa. That's it. That's 4 more hours
John
of content
Company?
right there.
I didn't talk about. Have I talked about John Company?
No.
Last week. Remember?
Last week?
You
Planet
That was last
Unknown?
week. It was a whole week ago. Planet Unknown, we didn't discuss in
Planet
great detail.
Unknown? Yes.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for listening to Board Game Snobs. Thank you to all our Patreons
Send
that
us an email.
enable us to keep the lights on.
Oh, yeah, I got to apologize. I'm finally a Patreon.
Board Game
Finally.
I saw that for $.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it called
Wow.
me out.
Oh,
Called me
wow.
out. Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know what it is, but we'll be talking about somebody, and I'll be like, so, blah, 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 blah. He says, yeah, he's a $1 Patreon. I was like, what? He got people. He remembers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God,
I remember nothing else but our Patreon.
He doesn't remember half of what I tell him, but he's got a list.
But that's recurring. Every little dollar adds a lot.
All right.
So like I just
we call that in Louisiana crawfishing.
Crawfish.
he saw all Tim Bowers over there. He's like, oh, I like that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why you like him? Oh, he's a $1 Patreon. So what? That's the guy. So just so you know, it takes very little.
I appreciate it very
And so
much.
you need to do your thing. So like, if they're a Patreoner, you'll just say good things about them.
Chad Chiasson, one of my favorite people of all
Be
time.
one of the level 1 Patreons.
Tim Bowers. Shout out to Tim Bowers,
yes.
also a new Patreon.
$7,500, and we'll say, we'll say so good. We'll do a video of Enrique saying good things about you.
I'm here. Did someone call me?
Yes, say something good about Tim Bowers.
I love you, Tim Bowers.
Why do you love him?
I don't know. You just told me to say something
but
nice.
that's I love you is not. I love you is an expression. Say something nice, complimentary. How's this going to work? This is how we get patrons. Say something nice about him.
We love you for giving us money.
No.
He doesn't know how to do it. Just that's good.
No. You do something like, oh, okay, this Tim Bowers. That's a strong name. That's a name that probably like a Spartan would have. When I think of Tim Bowers, I think of a man who's got a strong jawline.
Timothy Bowers.
Oh, Timothy Bowers.
I'm not trying to make a seduction move here,
And
man.
Tim
I'm just
went out-
complimenting it.
Tim went out to revenge.
My name's Tim Bowers. My name's Tim Bowers.
My
name's Tim Bowers. That's what I got. $1 I've been crawfishing a bunch. I sold a bunch of crawfish. I got.
I bet sitting it. I PayPal them boys. That's how I listen to their podcast all the time. I bet they need that dollars more than I do. I told my mama, I said, Mama, go set me up with these Patreons account. How am I gonna Patreon these boys? Says you ought not be doing that. They're probably spending that money on whiskey. You don't know.
Not supporting their habits.
So I ain't supporting their habits, Mama. I'm trying to help them get a new laptop. It's getting old. And
All
then
right.
I said,
Well,
Mama,
that's
listen
good.
here.
That's it.
This
We're
cool.
good. We're
Cool.
good.
What?
Thank you, Tim.
Oh,
Thank you, Chad Chiasson, and thank you all of our other loyal Patreon listeners.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everyone else that listens as well.
We also went bowling with Ryan and Jeff. We didn't mention that.
Oh, yeah, we
Sure,
like
that
those guys.
was a really good time as well. That's
That's
a whole
pretty
different
fun.
podcast.
That's another podcast we'll
We
talk
can
about
discuss
later.
main character energy on a different podcast.
That Ryan got some fine
Until
calves.
next time,
He likes that.
I'm Gabi.
This is Jerry.
This Chad.
This isn't.